Hello everyone, Binding of Blue here, and today I want to talk about the new PTB that was just released for Dead by Daylight. Now, after playing a couple of matches, it became evidently clear to me that I wanted and had to make a video on this. So, the main topic of discussion for today is, why does Felix Richter use Steve's sound effects, and why does the Blight have generic chase music? Now, this is kind of weird, like, right? Because you're thinking, you might be thinking, oh, well, it's the PTB, it's the PTB. What do you expect? And like, okay, that kind of makes sense, right? It's the PTB. Not everything is perfect, but it kind of plays into my overall theory. But before we continue any further, please consider liking and subscribing to see more content and to boost this video up in the algorithm, because I really think that I'm spot on with this theory and I want to share it with as many people as I possibly can. Alright, so let's just dive right into this. I don't have a script for this, but basically, my theory for why Felix uses Steve Harrington's vocals, his audio, for when he's injured, for when he's just moving around, for when he's been hooked, and why the Blight uses generic chase music. I strongly believe that that is because this chapter was not planned. And now you might be thinking, well, they released the PTB, obviously it was planned, there's a trailer, there was the teaser for it a couple of days ago. Well, the Leaks by Daylight community, their initial theory when they dug into the code of the game in the store information was that the next two killers were supposed to be Orexcel's bot only. So now you might be wondering, why do I think this theory is correct? Well, compared to last PTB with Cheryl and Pyramid Head, the Executioner, they both had their own special chase music for the Executioner, and Cheryl had her own unique vocals. So that was part of my reasoning, was that, well, why wouldn't Felix Richter have his own vocals and Pyramid Head have his own chase music? But another thing that factors into it is the fact that since both of the proposed next two chapters and killers were supposed to be licensed, the initial theory was that for this chapter it was going to be Candyman. But since Candyman was moved, the release date was moved indefinitely, that didn't happen. Or maybe it wouldn't have happened at all. We don't really know, because nobody knows for sure what the next killer is going to be. So in that event, if you're thinking from it as it was supposed to be Candyman, but then they must have pushed Candyman back, and the other licensed killer that they had was also, not ready. That's why I'm thinking this wasn't planned. It wasn't thought out, because the killer just seems like another Billy Oni combo. And while I think his power is cool and unique, I don't think it's that unique. The slamming part of it is pretty much the only unique aspect. You rush forward, you run, and that's about it. And again, this is just a theory, but I think the evidence leans toward this theory actually being correct. Put in the comments if you think I'm wrong, why you think I'm wrong, why you think I'm right, if there's any evidence to prove that I am right, or if there's a lot of evidence that you've data mined or from a leak source that you deem to be accurate, because I really want to know what your guys' theories on this are as well, because this is truly a weird thing, and I hope that maybe it's just a bug. That maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's just a bug and they didn't link the proper files. I think that could be it. That could also be a possible theory. Again, I think the fact that this chapter was not planned, the theory that this chapter was not planned, rather, is the way I'm thinking about it. In my mind, I do not think that this chapter was planned out. Another reason I think this chapter wasn't planned is that the backstory for both the Blight and Felix are very much intertwined, as opposed to some of the other non-licensed killers and characters. Um, Plus, the fact that Behavior has broken their promise about not giving sexual orientations to their characters in Felix's backstory. I think it's weird. It doesn't feel like the Blight is a killer within the DBD universe. It doesn't feel like any of the other killers in the sense of the lore behind it. Um, and the lore behind Felix. And I think that's another reason that just lends itself to the theory that it is, in fact, not planned, this chapter. And I really believe that. Like I said, this is all just speculation and theory. There's no real credence to this. Again, this is probably all very much so incorrect, and I'd love to see the devs possibly admit to the fact that this might just be a bug, and that's why this chapter is a little bit different. This PTB. Um, but all in all, I think this new killer is gonna be not necessarily refreshing, but I definitely see him as a C tier killer. Um, and I think his perks are decent. His ability is okay. He does seem like another hillbilly Oni, with just being a lot less overpowered with his power. And I think that does lend him some challenge to play him, rather than it just being an easy one hit down killer like Billy and Oni. You actually have to hit people twice, even when you're using your power. Well, that about wraps it up for today. Thank you all for watching the video. Please consider sharing this video if you want other people to see it, because this theory, I like to think it's true. Um, but in the meantime, I do stream on Twitch, so check out my Twitch channel, linked in the description below. And also, I do make Dead by Daylight videos every now and then. Most of them have just been stream highlights, but I want to do some unique stuff for the YouTubes, so consider subscribing if you want to watch more of that. But yeah, I hope you all have a great night, everybody.